everyone. Welcome to Inside Iraq. I'm Jassim Azzawi. The awakening councils helped defeat Al-Qaeda, but if not rewarded soon, will they rejoin the resistance or bin Laden's terror group? Al-Maliki's government called them former Ba'athists, while sectarian militias dominate Iraq's security forces. Are we witnessing a double standard or a myopic policy? A revolt by fighters of the Awakening Council may ignite a mini-civil war. So how will this new front affect American troops in Iraq? Nadim Baba reports.
Some may deny the surge is working, but among the terrorists, there is no doubt. Al-Qaeda is on the run in Iraq, and this enemy will be defeated.
An outlandish claim from a man on the way out, or a fair reflection of events on the ground? What's certain is the 80,000 or so fighters who make up the Awakening Councils, mostly in Sunni areas, have had a tangible effect on the number of suicide attacks that are Al-Qaeda's trademark. A phenomenon that started in Iraq's western Anbar province has spread to other places once synonymous with insurgency, places like Adhamiyah in Baghdad. Here, the men the Americans call concerned local citizens boast they've transformed people's lives. They get $300 a month from the US military. And they say job satisfaction. We've saved people from the killers, says this man. The area is secure now and all Muslims, Sunnis and Shias can come here.
One of the main benefits that some of the average Iraqis feel is that there's been a reduction in the level of violence by the devolution of power and the emergence of these groups. So at least on that, for a lot of people within the area, this is a plus.
By confronting Al-Qaeda, they've invited the wrath of Osama bin Laden. In an audio recording in December, he mentioned one tribe involved in the awakening. Their leader, Abdel Sattar Abu Risha, was killed by a suicide bomber. But it's not just the men at the top who are paying the price. More than 100 have been killed in targeted attacks over the last month. While many politicians believe they're performing a useful role, the government is officially keeping its distance. To say Nouri al-Maliki's government is wary of these fighters would be an understatement. It says many of them are former supporters of Saddam Hussein, and it's refusing outright to fund them. Iraq's government has pledged to absorb about a quarter of all Awakening Council fighters into the security services and to give the rest vocational training. But the timescale remains unclear.
Unless this occurs, unless these people feel that they are being integrated and that they have a voice and that they have an economic interest as well as a political interest, they are likely to turn again against the policies of the government and of the US in Iraq.
While some see these fighters as a welcome alternative to foreign-backed militias, others say they'll be an obstacle to reconciliation if they're allowed to continue. Nadim Baba for Inside Iraq.
To discuss the future of the Awakening Council, I'm joined from London by Saad Naji Jawad, a professor of political science at Baghdad University and a senior political analyst at the Center for Arab Unity in Beirut, and by Dr. Salah al-Sheikhli, Iraq's last ambassador to Britain. Gentlemen, welcome to Inside Iraq. Ambassador al-Sheikhli, why is al-Maliki's government dragging its feet either to integrate the fighters of the Awakening Councils or to reward them for the tremendous job they did?
You appreciate that I cannot speak for His Excellency the Prime Minister, but what I can say regarding the Awakening Council, that they have performed a fantastic job in Anbar and Diyala province, in Adhamiyah and Amiriya and many other areas. And I think these people would draw the satisfaction, number one, from their own achievement, that they have been useful members of their own community, of their own society. Second, they are going to gradually be integrated within the society itself. Because please do remember that these people used to side with Al-Qaeda against the government and against the coalition forces. These are the mistakes that both the multinational force and the government itself made, early in 2004 and 2005. And I think it's high time the government drew some lessons.
It doesn't seem, Dr. Salah al-Sheikh, as if they have drew that lesson. What we hear from al-Maliki's government, these are former Ba'athists. These are attempting to infiltrate the Iraqi army and the security forces. Saad Naji Jawad, there is some sort of a doubt, there is some sort of suspicion about their role and what might happen in the future.
No, no, no. This is not the fear of the government. They don't, because they already don't have an army. They only have militias everywhere. They only don't want to have a militia which is not in line with their own policy. They want all the militias under their own control, and the militias they could trust, rather than a militia that they could not trust. This is the problem, and I think
that's a major accusation. Let me hear it from Salah al-Sheikh. Did you hear what he said?
It will backfire on them.
Yeah, I did hear what he said. Let me give you a few figures. Our present security forces number about 537,000 more in the police and security than in the army. And unfortunately, for the past 3 years, a lot of militias have been integrated in these security forces. I entirely agree with Dr. Saad that many of the present security forces, especially the police, are infiltrated by militias. And there was a report, if you recall, the Jones report, that they recommended that at least a good 30% of the police force should really be out of the force because they have been ex-militia.
Actually, it went beyond that. It said the police force is absolutely good for nothing. The only thing you could do with it is to disband it and recreate it again.
It's true, but that would lead, as we appreciate, that would lead into complete chaos. At least you take 30,000, replace it, and go stage by stage. Because a country without a security force is a country that's going to dwindle down to civil war.
Well, I don't know what to say. I mean, we have a proverb in Arabic that says the worst strategy is the one that makes you laugh. I think the worst strategy is speaking about the security forces in Iraq, while there is no security in Iraq at all, with all the number the Mr. Ambassador mentioned. But still, we in Iraq, people in Iraq, are still living in fear and without any security and without any law. So what's the use of keeping 5,100 people in force and carrying arms when they are doing nothing? I think it was all, I should go back to the main point I made at the beginning. The problem is in the decision of the United States in dissolving the army and re-establishing the army on wrong basis.
Well, let's be rational on this. The Iraqi army is, although it started on the wrong footing, but it is now gradually being shaped into a proper army.
The Iraqi army somehow is beholden to a specific group, to a specific party. You cannot deny that the Iraqi army somehow influenced by the Supreme Islamic Iraqi Council. They hold a major sway.
Yeah, an army should be totally devoid of any political belief, of any ideological belief. An Iraqi army should be for the whole of Iraq.
That's in theory, but the practice is different, isn't it?
Yeah. This is the problem, you see, because any army anywhere in the world should answer to its political masters. And so long as we have political masters who are biased, consequently the army going to follow that command. And this is the problem. When you said earlier on, our political masters have been differentiating between certain groups and others, this is absolutely true, because in the cabinet today you can find ex-Ba'athists. So it cannot be right for a group of people and can be wrong for others. People in Anbar, people in Diyala should be or should feel as if they are part of the stakeholding of the state of Iraq. You cannot really keep them out of the boundaries of the society. And if we're going to continue this line, I don't think we are going to achieve a unity in the country. And my feeling is that gradually the political forces, in fact, outside the small circle that is at present governing Iraq, going to bring a great deal of pressure. That includes the United States administration on the present government to change its policies.
Ambassador Salah al-Sheikh, Saad Naji Jawad, please stay with us. We'll take a short break. We'll continue in a bit. Stay with us.
We, as a government, have intelligence information. The Ba'ath Party has ordered its members to join the awakening councils, and Al-Qaeda has ordered its members to infiltrate the awakening councils. Nouri al-Maliki, Iraqi Prime Minister.